You're watching Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I am your host, Marshall Green. Appreciate you for stopping by. Hit that thumbs up icon for us, and let's get the good vibes continue as they roll on for the New York Knicks. The Knicks, they dominated the Toronto Raptors last night. We'll break down all the stats and highlights. We'll talk about Mitchell Robinson, but I have some words on Deuce McBride as he is still loose and he continues to dominate. And we're also going to take a look at an updated view of the Eastern Conference standings, and I'm going to tell you what the Knicks got to do to become the second seed in the Eastern Conference. Let's start, though, with Mitchie No Snitchy, the Blockness Monster. He returned to action yesterday against the Raptors for the first time since December 8th, 2023, and it felt good to see him out there. Only played in 12 minutes in the win for the Knicks. I know that there is a minute restriction right now with Robinson, but I would have been curious to see if this was a tight game, which it was not, how much he would have played. But when he was out there, you felt and you saw his impact. 8 points, 2 rebounds, 2 blocks. He was 3 of 3. He looked a little bit more aggressive on getting his shots up, got downhill a couple times, got called for a charge once, turned the ball over a little bit too much, but you saw him on the glass. He had an offensive rebound, and you saw the presence in length, in tenacity, in strength that he brings to the Knicks on the defensive end. He is a really good player. And he did look a little bit rusty, and as he should. He hasn't played since the beginning of December. But you saw the impact. You felt the impact. The coach for the Toronto Raptors talked about he was huge coming off the bench for the Knicks. 7'2", Mitchell Robinson, one of the most athletic people, longest wingspans, great defensive IQ, coming off the bench, playing against backup bigs. That is going to be a major, major boost for the Knicks come April, May, and potentially June. 48 minutes of rim protection is what the Knicks are getting back to. You got Isaiah Hartenstein, you got Mitchell Robinson. You're still going to get Precious Achiuwa in there from time to time, and he looked really good against the Raptors. I'm sure he was motivated playing against his former team. But with Hart back and healthy, and he looks healthier and healthier as each game goes on, and as Mitch gets back in a groove, gets his NBA legs back under him, this team is, in my opinion, will have the best center rotation in the league. This defense is going to be scary, ladies and gentlemen. You got Deuce McBride. He's a pest on defense. You got Isaiah Hartenstein, one of the best switching bigs in the league, in my opinion. Also a really good shot blocker. Mitchell Robinson, we know what he does. You still got Josh Hart, still got DiVincenzo. But we haven't even seen Robinson and Anunoby play together. And that is what I want to see. I believe Robinson is a top 10 defensive center in this league, and I believe Anunoby is the best wing defender in this league. I want to see those two on the court at the same time. Show Mitch some love, though. It was good to see 23 in the orange and blue back out there, patrolling the paint and dominating. Show him some love. Give me those 23s down in the comments section if you liked seeing him return last night. The Deuce is loose, and he continues to be loose. This isn't just a one-game thing for Deuce McBride at this point. This isn't a week-long thing for Deuce McBride at this point. He has legitimately been one of the best players in the NBA since the start of 2024. And he was electric last night. 6 3-pointers made in the first quarter for Miles. He was on fire. He couldn't miss. He ends up with 29 points, 9 of 14 from 3. He gives you 7 dimes as well as 3 rebounds. He was everywhere. He was great on defense. We know he's going to bring that night in and night out. But the ability for him to become not a serviceable shooter, not a league average shooter, not a guy that you can count on. Legitimately, he has become a guy that every time he shoots the basketball, I'm like, oh, that's in. And that doesn't happen for me with a lot of people. I'm talking Steph Curry, DiVincenzo went through a run like that. But now Deuce is like every time he shoots it, I'm like, that's in. And last night it was. He went 9 of 14. And in the last 24 games he's played, he's averaging 28.6 minutes per game. He has become a very important piece of this rotation. And the production, he got that spot. He earned it. He's averaging 12 points per game, over 2 rebounds, nearly 3 assists, and it's the efficiency. 46% from the deck and 39.5% from 3 on north of 5 attempts. And he's also giving you a steal per night. Deuce McBride is officially one of the best players on the Knicks. And I did not think there would ever be a time that I would utter those words. But I am so proud to be wrong, and I am so happy and proud of him and the way his development, his maturation of his game, and the way that he has become just a steady piece in this rotation. The Knicks need him to be that. I remember yesterday, I remember like it was yesterday. Game 6 against the Miami Heat. Brunson comes out for 2 minutes. Knicks cough up an 8-point lead. Deuce subs in and he struggled. I don't think we're going to see that anymore. I think we're going to see a guy that's going to be ready for the moment come April. And on top of that, he's on the best contract in the NBA outside of Jalen Brunson. $4.7 million next year, $4.3 million the year after, and in 2026 and 2027, when Deuce is 26 years old, he's going to be making $3.9 million. It was a heist. I feel bad for Deuce. He deserves way more money than that. But you got to give credit to Leon Rose and Tom Thibodeau. Something I want to see more of in the playoffs is Brunson and Deuce McBride playing together. They've done it 270 minutes so far this year. And in that two-man lineup, when Brunson and Deuce are on the floor, per 100 possessions, they score 130 points. Per 100 possessions on defense, they hold teams to 112 points. They have a net rating, which means how many points do you outscore a team per 100 possessions? The Knicks are doing it by 18.2 points per 100 possessions. They are a lethal two-man lineup. Even so much might even be better than Emmanuel Quickley. I don't want to get killed up here. I don't want to get shot. Put your weapons down. But as I like to say, remove the emotion and take the data for what it is. You have a plus 18.2 net rating with Brunson and Deuce. With Brunson and Quickley, it was 11.6, and that was electric. Maybe there's something to Brunson playing with another guard that can shoot and get downhill and defend and create their own shot. Maybe we might have something cooking here with the New York Knicks and Deuce McBride. Make sure you show him some love, though. Just drop the 2s. Give me a 2 in the chat for Deuce. He's been electric. He's earned every minute he's gotten. I think Tom Thibodeau deserves the credit, but we got to show love to Deuce, man. I don't know where you'd be without him. I really, really do not. Show him some love. Type those 2s. Coming up next, we'll break down the Knicks win over the Toronto Raptors, and we're also taking a look at the Eastern Conference standings. The Knicks are in the 3 seed. They're on the heels of the Bucks, and I'll tell you what they got to do to get to that 2 seed. But first, I got to give a huge shout-out to today's sponsor, Prize Picks. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use that promo code CLNS, and Prize Picks, the #1 daily fantasy sports app, will hook you up with a 100% deposit bonus up to $100. So put $100 in your account, they'll give you $100 for free. It's a #1 daily fantasy sports app for a reason. It's easy, it's fun, it's exciting, and you can turn your basketball IQ, your sports knowledge into real money, and you can withdraw your winnings at any time. And now is the time to play Prize Picks. NBA action's heating up. Playoffs are around the corner, and March Madness is back. I'm rolling with just a 2-player lineup for the Friday games. I'm going to go with the more on the points for Dalton Connect. I think he's going to have a big game. I think he's going to shine on a big stage. And even though I am a Zach Edey guy, maybe the only one here at Chat Sports, everyone tells me he's going to be no good in the NBA, I'm going to go with the less on his points of 25.5. You can roll with my picks or fade my picks. My 2-man lineup cashed last night in the Toronto game for the Knicks, so I'm trying to get a little bit of a hot streak going. You can ride my picks or fade my picks, but I kindly ask, if you are going to play daily fantasy sports, you do it with our proud sponsor, Prize Picks. Support the show, support the sponsor, and use the promo code CLNS. Pick more, pick less. Get a 100% deposit bonus match up to $100. Alrighty, so you take a look at the Eastern Conference standings right now. You got the Boston Celtics holding up that #1 spot. Milwaukee in the 2nd seed, 11 games back of Boston. That's crazy. But there we are, baby. #3, the 3rd seed in the East, and just 2 games behind the Milwaukee Bucks. You're a half game up on the Cavs, and you're 2 games up on the Magic. I'm not sure why SNY has Sixers next to Magic's logo. I just noticed that. SNY, you got to be better, my man. That is the Magic's record, not the Philadelphia 76ers. We're trying to catch the Bucks. And you got one more game this year against the Bucks. And they got some tough games coming up. They still got to play Boston. They still got to play Orlando. They got the Thunder. And then they got to play Orlando again. That's not going to be easy. It also won't be easy for the Knicks, as their next 10 games or last 10 games are not easy. San Antonio, that should be a breeze. OKC is going to be tough. It's always a battle when you play Miami, especially in the 305. The Kings are going to be looking to get their lick back after you beat them in Sacramento just 2 weeks ago. And you got Chicago 3 times in the last 6 games. That's tough to beat anybody 3 times in 6 games. And you still got to play Milwaukee, Boston, And then you get to play the little bros, Brooklyn Nets, across the way. Knicks are going to have to handle business if they want to catch that 2 seed. Predict it for me. What seed will the Knicks get? Number 2, number 3, hopefully not number 4. Let's talk about the stats. Donte DiVincenzo continues to stay hot for the New York Knicks. Had 40 points the other night, set the single game record for most threes made in a game. And he goes 5 of 12 from deep last night. 16 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists. DiVincenzo will win you a game in the playoffs if he can make shots. If not, he may just shoot you out of the game. But he's a really good player, and I'm glad he's a Knick. Shout out to Mark Berman. You don't know ball, brother. Josh Hart continues to do what Josh Hart does. Even when it's a game that you win by 44 and you don't even notice Josh Hart, you look at the stat sheet, you're like, this MFer's got 7 points, 6 rebounds, and 10 assists. He's the new triple-double guy. He's a 10, 10, and 10 guy. I'm so glad he's a Knick. Continue to shoot it with confidence, Josh. You are a decent shooter. Act like it. Believe in yourself. We need you to make those shots in the playoffs. Hartenstein didn't even play that much, but the impact was felt. You saw the just overall domination he had in that first quarter, which really set the tone for the Knicks. 15 points for him, 4 rebounds. He's become kind of like a go-to scorer for the Knicks in the first quarter. That pick and roll between he and Jalen Brunson, where Hartenstein gets that little lefty push shot from about 8 feet. He's almost automatic on that. That's why he went 5 of 6 and he had 15 points. Jalen Brunson in less than 30 minutes, he just showed you why. Once again, he's the best point guard in the East, and I believe he's the top 4 point guard in this league. A slight 26 and 7 for him on 11 of 19 from the field. Efficiency, efficiency, efficiency. That's the name of the game, and Brunson does it better than anybody else. We talked about Deuce, but I'll talk about him again. The kid is incredible. He's incredible, man. I almost feel like we're living in a movie, and there's something special about this Knicks team. All the odds, all the injuries stacked up against him. They find a way to be in the 3 seed, and you got freaking Deuce McBride playing the way he is. I don't get it. I don't get it. Just get healthy for the playoffs. It was good to see Mitch back. Finishes with 8 points, 2 rebounds. Only played like 12 minutes or so. It was a blowout. I just want him to keep getting comfortable, keep getting his groove back, keep getting into better shape, and just keep doing what you do, which is dominate the glass and protect the rim better than almost any center in this league. Really, really cool to see number 23 back, man. He is a special, special player on this team. The big sneeze, Precious Achiuwa, had a great game. 19 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists, had one of the best dunks of the season. Big sneeze, he was out there hooping. An underlying storyline to this game, though, was Bojan Bogdanovic being able to see the ball go through the hoop a couple of times. 7 of 11 from the field, 4 of 5 from distance. That's the player you traded for. I used to call him a professional scorer, because that's what he was his entire career before he came and suited up for the New York Knicks. But he gets you 18 points, 2 assists, 7 of 11, knocking down that 3. If Bogey can do what he's done his whole career for the New York Knicks, that makes this bench unit really, really scary. It was cool to see Shake Milton get an extended run last night. Pretty much played that entire fourth quarter. Brunson did not. Good to see him get rested. And he showed you a little something. 7 points, 3 rebounds, 2 of 2, 2 assists, 1 of 1 from 3, 3 of 5 from the field. I think Milton's good, and I think he should be a part of this rotation. But the way Miles McBride is playing, it's tough. I think he's an NBA rotation player, and I'm glad he's a part of this team. I just wish there was more opportunity for him, because I do think he could help this team stack some W's. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We're going to be live tomorrow for the game against the Spurs. And Patrick Seatman, he's got to start the show with a beer boot, because you guys showed up and showed out in last night's stream. So subscribe, turn your notifications on, and I'll see you crazy MFers on Friday.